Hi guys, Karen here. Today I'm using this sketch to create a page and using these two sheets from my new gym hip kit, fairly new, and some scraps from my scrap box. And I'm going to be doing a page with a photograph of my dad using this blue paper from Pink Paisley from the Omar Hart collection. And the background paper is by Pinkfresh Studio from the Dream On collection. And this is in response to a challenge that was on the Mercy Tiara Facebook group to create a layout of a dad or a father figure and using a song title as the title. It took me a while to get with the program and to decide to do this picture of my dad. I haven't really scrapped much of him for quite a while because since he died in 2011, and I thought it was time I did. So I've used this sketch to get me started, and then I'm cutting up these little strips to go to be laid on the blue paper. And as I say, I thought it was high time I did a picture of my dad and did some journaling about the support he gave me when I was in my younger days. And I'm not very good at thinking of song titles, so this took a while, which is why I'm a bit late getting it done. I'm just choosing some papers from my scrap box, my large scrap box, to use to back the photograph. I tried a variety of different colours and different combinations, but in the end I settled on this stripy one and another one that I found further down, that there's a little pale blue tealy colour paper. Those two papers they're the ones I end up choosing. So I'm just going to stick this one on, trying to use my ATG gun yet again, it's kind of coming unravelled, and I really need to try and sort that out because I keep trying to use it and it keeps messing up. So I go back to old faithful double-sided tape in the end. So I'm just trimming this down, this backing paper on my photograph, and then I'm going to back that onto this really pretty pale blue paper, which goes quite well with the colour of the sea in the photograph. That's taken in Canada in 1994. And now I'm just picking out, I wanted a doily, but I didn't want to go for white. I thought I'd go for a coloured doily. Tried the brown, didn't really like the brown. It blended too much into the background, but this rather nice deep teal colour really worked. So I thought, yep, that's the one I want. So I'm going to stick my photograph to that. Yeah, and I've just laid on the strips. They're not stuck down yet, but I think they're roughly where I should want them to be. And now I've stuck them on, and I'm going to stick my blue paper to the main background. And then I thought I'll do a bit of mixed media just to kind of soften the edge of the blue paper against the background. It took me quite a long while to decide how to do this because I'm not very confident with mixed media, but I had bought the colour kit for June, so I wanted to use this Vicky Bouton, it's quite thick paint, and the colour is Daiquiri Ice. So I've just used the packaging technique just to do a little background of colour, and then we also had a stencil in the kit. So the next thing I thought I'd do is stencil again with the same colour because it's quite thick and not so diluted this time. So I diluted it previously with some water, and I laid on the this Echo Park, I think it's Little Crosses stencil, but because the background paper had warped a little bit, it didn't really come through very well, and they got a bit splotchy. So I just thought I'll just splotch them all over and make the background a bit darker where I'd done the sort of icy blue, green, minty green colour, and I just made a feature of that. Then I just wanted to kind of make the edge stick down a bit better because I didn't like the harsh edge, so I put this bit of washi tape along there. It's actually a blue and cream stripe, I suppose. And then I had also in the colour kit we had these pasties from Shimmers in the Salt of the Earth colours, it's like a sort of paste. So I thought I'd use that with the stencil instead. And although it starts off white, by the time it's dried, it has got a strange sort of pinky beigey colour, which is a little odd. I don't know why it does that. So I've just laid on, making sure the photograph works with everything and deciding where it's going to go, and I'm finally committing to sticking it on, and I've put a bit of foam on the back there just to give it a lift, as I very often do. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm having a bit of a button kick at the moment, so I thought I'd put some buttons on those strips of paper, just coordinating with the background colour. So I just picked out a load from my button box that might go, and just putting them onto those strips of paper in coordinating colours. And then I've already created a little journaling spot there, which I thought I'd tuck in, make sure that fits. And really all that does is talk about how Dad used to push me quite a lot when I was young, push me to fulfil my potential. But he was very supportive, and he was always there he always believed in me when other people didn't. And he was a very, very supportive dad. And if it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't have gone to university and done the things that I was able to do after that. So I have a lot to thank him for, and it was really high time I did a layout to say that. And that's more or less what my journaling says in rather more cryptic terms, perhaps. So I'm now sticking on the buttons. I've got them where I want them, and I'm just going to stick them all down. I'm not going to make you watch me stick every single one. They're in the position that they need to be, so they are now all stuck down. And now I'm going to work on my title. And it was meant to be had to be a song title for this challenge. So I decided on this one, "The Wind Beneath My Wings," because I think he really was in my early days. I think he really was the one who pushed me and encouraged me and got me going when perhaps I wouldn't have achieved what I did in my younger life. And so I think it felt like an appropriate title to say, "You were the wind beneath my wings, Dad." And I'm using a variety of fonts here. The Dad is a thickest pack I've had for quite a while, and that's in the font Print Shop. And then there's a couple of blue sets of thickers. One is Twilight. They're the ones that says beneath my. They're actually foam thickers, and the other one is from the Indigo Hills collection by Pinkfresh Studios, The Wind and the Wings. They're more of an acrylic with quite a thick plastic font. And I've fussy cut a couple of hot air balloons, because I thought the hot air balloons seemed to go quite well with the idea of wind and the wings. So I'm just doing the clusters with some hot air balloons in 3 places underneath the title, and then in the corner of the photograph. So there's a couple fussy cut balloons into 2 places. In fact, one of those balloons I'm just sticking in there after the end of when I looked at the film, I realised it looked a bit fussy in that corner. So although I'm sticking a second balloon in that corner, I will remove it later on, and that will appear in the photographs right at the end. In that was just one balloon too many, I decided. So now just popping in my bit of journaling. It's just going to go in the side there. It's just a circular die cut that I had in my stash, and I got a few hearts there on glitter card that I had already punched out, so I thought I'd pop those in. So I've got some glitter hearts in each of the clusters and balloons in each of the clusters. There's going to be a couple of puffy balloons that are going to be added in a moment. So I'm just popping in that glitter heart and a couple of balloons there. And then I decided that heart needed to be the same size as the other 2, and the bigger one. For some reason I decided it looked too puny in that corner, so I decided to put a bigger one in, so that all the hearts in the 3 clusters are a big heart, because Dad had a really big heart. He was great. He was a wonderful dad, and as I say, I lost him in 2011, and this is the first time I've been able to really do a layout that I talk about what he meant to me. So I've added on a couple of puffy balloons from Dear Lizzie pack sheet that I had, and then a puffy word love on the other set of balloons in the other cluster, and then a couple of strips of phrases that I found on a sheet that I just cut off, and I'm just going to add a few enamel dots or enamel shapes that were in the kit. I think these were in the new kit, in the June kit, another July kit yet. So I'm going to pop a few enamel shapes there. I thought about putting that one there, but then decided no, it's too much. So I think we're pretty much there. Just kind of tuck in another couple of bits, and there we are, done. So thank you for joining me, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Bye.